It feels like Navi have done a good job of kind of gearing up for Austin to be a peak, you know? They've lost just enough events to kind of have people starting to push them outside of top 5. When it seemed like 3D Max don't consider you a top 5 contender, that means they look at you as equals. But, I mean, Navi have the accolades.
And Bit was very good on train, and this is his, you know, pop-off map right here, Inferno.
So let's see if they can do it. Whoa, that nade is hefty. JL absolutely smashes Bones as they will try to round the half wall. They will be meeting Wonderful's dual Berettas, and JL doesn't give them any room to really get in. A total shutdown of the banana play. That frag grenade, well worth it.
Couldn't have been better placed or better timed. Does Maka get a plant, Connor?
No. I mean, maybe he buys like a nice
Say
fern.
something brave.
Maybe he can get a hosta at home, but...
What's that, hosta?
A hosta, it's a type of plant. Maybe a geranium, petunias, clematis, lavender.
So like a tomato plant, clematis?
A clematis is a climbing vine that you should plant in half sun.
Okay.
Don't want it to dry out. Usually you put hostas around it to protect the base of the plant, Mohan.
Nice. So it looks like Maka's hair.
Sure. A furrowed brow here from Maka as he stays locked in on the final 15 seconds of this one. Smoke in front of him. You asked, does he get the plant? I would say with 2 players ready to dogpile him, he doesn't even get to push the first number.
Like he didn't get knifed right there. Nice try.
He arrives on scene, gets iced out, and so again, that JL frag grenade and those wonderful Berettas lock-in pistol for Navi.
That was awesome.
That was awesome, Dan.
Very topical with Dan here.
Yes, he's back. Full force.
I will be Brown DDK. Or some call me LeBron James.
That's Brown DDK and White Launders coming at you guys from the B stream on day 1 of stage 3.
Free the Asians.
No, it's hashtag let Asians rule.
Asians rock.
In the context of the Austin Major, so that we get the first Chinese team ever to make top 8 at a major. That's what, yeah.
No, Chinese team, yeah.
Yeah. Mongols made history in Shanghai. Lin Vision trying to ride the hype train.
And it's working.
Shut down top middle. But that bit death's just enough to make you worried if you're Navi. You don't want the price tag racking up unnecessarily. Is this a double run boost?
3 guys high on this.
Of course it's not a double run boost. This makes much more sense.
Can he see through the...
Yeah, through the cherry tree.
Yes. And no... Oh, little damage on JL. Just enough to scare him back.
All right, fun tricks.
That's what 3D Max are, aren't they? Magicians.
Cut off at the pass. Ima in with the double kill, and JL's going to end it. So 3D Max not wasting the opportunity with lesser weapons to still try to catch Navi off. And if that was a JL headshot top banana, I bet you that bomb goes down.
A graffiti. You save that one for the major. I don't know. 3D Max are a team that have always impressed when it comes to tactics.
Yeah, that's true.
They tactics and aim. For sure.
It must be tough for them because it's like if you're 3D Max, you're watching other teams kind of steal some ideas that they come up with. And then get more consistent wins with it.
That's tier 2, though. Because tier 1 teams simply do not have the time to innovate as much. It's much more efficient to just take from tier 2 teams, present them as if they're your own ideas. That's how Steve Jobs made Apple. It wasn't even the best Steve.
Well, now we're talking bananas. Jail tries to lock it down. Smokes go down on each end of it, and that's going to keep him and Alexi a little preoccupied. But a 3D Max lean back towards the apartments control they established early. Exorcist up there. Carved out a bunch of information for 3D Max so that in a minute, with brackets control, they could just go 5v3 on this site. Again, trying to find that perfectly timed frag grenade, but it's not as good as the one in the pistol pit. Quick reposition here.
Can he get spotted, though?
Oh, risky on this half wall. Body's going to find the headshot. Here's Wonderful trying to bring it all back now, and instead he's just a second body victim. Imez inside of sight, and he'll get gunned down. They swoop through that A defense like it's nothing. A double kill from Body.
The follow-through is awesome right there because they're just shooting through every part of the smoke. And it's like some people just try to play for themselves and shoot around and you know, poke and prod and take too much time. But right there, you force your opponent to respond. And they knew there was only one more guy left to get through. So it's overall a very strong attack here for 3D Max. JL happy to chill on his 4-0 scoreline.
It's cool to see Body back at Tier 1 Counter-Strike. Somebody who, after his stint in G2, just kind of floated out there, tried different projects, was a part of the Falcons once, went over to Fnatic, and things didn't work out. And then you just kind of see the rise of French Counter-Strike, this all-French roster getting consistent rankings at big events.
I mean, Maui still owes us Axile and Siren, amongst others.
And Patsy.
And Patsy, or sorry, I meant Patsy, not Siren.
Okay.
But he doesn't know a Siren. We have Siren. But one thing he was right about for sure was Body improving this team. And yeah, they just look better in general.
Kind of just felt like he was up there in a Cessna, you know, he's doing the tour. Couldn't find a good landing spot, and then suddenly 3D Max emerges from the woods. They tried it with their main five. He slots in nicely again. We're going to get that Body entry. Instant headshot once more. Trying to follow through now onto Alexi, but he bites off more than he can chew, and this defense looks to hang on, dodging shots as the smokes goes down on CT Cross, and the rotate comes over and Wonderful.
He was very careful not to use all his ammo there. Appreciate that here by Alexi. And another boost will be assembled. And it's possible they see something, but for now, the CTs, I think, heard this.
Navi not giving in.
No rotate here for Bit just yet. They're now coming down mid. Oh, no. It just passed by it.
Thought about it. See nothing. Molly over the top. Bit decides not to press his luck down middle. 50 seconds. And 3D Max looking like they're about to commit into this B bomb site. Wonderful tag down to a quarter HP. And it is Alexi just hiding out in the corner.
But they know Alexi's here.
No smoke for the cross, though, at this point. That's what they were looking for. Snap the whip here for Lucky. He's going to close down on those last two players. And 3D Max start to get rowdy because they have tied this game early.
Yeah, that's something to be excited about for sure. Alexi did a good job of like managing a situation that was pretty desperate when his teammates died. But he still only had an MP9 in the site. I think the only thing that could have been done differently there is he needed to take a little bit more aggro because Wonderful wasn't known. Alexi was. And so they're just sitting here suspicious. Where is this guy?
Let's go! Bye-bye!
Bye-bye. Au revoir.
Good on you. Working on your French. An all-French team and top 8 at a major. Imagine that.
Honestly, it's been a great day
it.
for racists. If you look at all the results today.
That's fans of National Counter-Strike.
Oh, that's what I meant. Spirit, Legacy, Furia. Oh, what Furia? Actually, that doesn't. Lin Vision, moving swiftly along.
Potentially 3D Max here versus Ooh, the USP to the back of the head doesn't get away with the robbery. And if we're talking about a 3D Max now leading on a T side, 5 players up, as Navi have nothing to hold back this bomb site with. And then it is an excellent start. It is an excellent start to Inferno.
I think with all the top teams and something we've seen, especially from Legacy right away, that everyone tried to emulate is like overwhelming positive attitude and energy to just like
PMA.
make the ego come out from the from your opponents because they don't want to celebrate too early. That's something we've also seen, and seems like a great strategy.
Uh-oh.
Every round is harder when you know your opponent's happy.
Blade wants a word.
And that's one guy, no matter what kind of pieces you have, where you think they're always going to be a threat. You don't know what kind of team is going to come into this and factor the theme. You're going to assume they might radically change from event to event if things are going wrong. Blade works hard. But still, the fall off of Navi, the taper off or whatever, is also underscored by the fact that their individuals are not able to keep up star level form.
Yeah. No.
Any 2 or 3 players.
Blade can't click your mouse for you. Blade could barely click his own mouse. But a mastermind of the game nonetheless. So we'll see what they do off the timeout. They add that third piece to the B defense early. And JL just floating between the gap in those 2 smokes. But no active play elsewhere from Navi, so they get that kind of blind lean back towards A. Almost would have expected something a little more active out of them. But they've afforded 3D Max a good amount of space and timing to just group up on this B site. And 3D Max are happy to swarm you. Mac-10 is the entry. Nothing from JL. Alexi sitting on the side of that smoke. Doesn't get flashed through. Has Emeta rotate in. They're going to call this off. It's a save already. 3D Max just lightning quick off of the Mac-10 through the B defense. And with nothing from JL, it's nothing for Navi.
Yeah, and you can't defend the B site in modern CS with a full exec coming in. You have to stop it by getting your kills early, getting util damage off nades, having stacks. But even if you have 2 players standing there, just because from car you can molly the entirety of the back of the site, as well as first and second oranges with 1 molly, quad with 1 molly, emo with another molly, it's very hard to have any impact now unless you have numbers before that attack comes in. And they let 3D Max get banana. Look at the HP bars. Everyone's really healthy. They had utility to work.
Terrorists.
Navi didn't do enough there to be convincing.
Which I'm quite surprised by, considering we're coming off of the tack pause. Considering there's been this affinity for the B site already from 3D Max. Certainly not the adaptation they were hoping to go for. So at least silver lining, they saved 4 of the 5 players. Navi, MP9 for Alexi. We'll see if they get a little more aggressive versus what is now a smooth sailing 3D Max. Making money. I'm looking at $10,000 in the coffers for Graviti. Body trades out wonderful, 1 and done.
They know it's a 3B setup, I think, so the body's already testing out Arch. Bit's now in the pit, and he is crouched.
XRC's looking for the pit play. Will win
what a
the
move.
Fight. And with Bit down now, if Ema gets held back on Arch side, oh, that's a big if, because he still has a chance to test down middle. But we get this simultaneous kill from Lucky over towards Banana. JL looks like he gets caught pushing smoke.
At this moment, XRC, he's listening, so guarantee 1 of 2 are here. They can still attack the site because he has big pit control, so that's something. There's one moment, though, they come out halls where it gets a little scary. But Navi also are wondering why they haven't planted yet.
CT's lost their B player, decide not to move anybody back. They get another smoke over on Moto. Interruptive utility from the defense, though. Alexi, perfect timing on it, catches XRC's in the pit.
But it's Navi who are actually missing 1 now as well. They don't know where Lucky is.
Spam attempt from Maka. Smoke comes out, but he is still keeping the pressure on the side of that smoke grenade. And Alexi fighting tooth and nail to try to keep this round alive for Navi. He's hoping to find that fight in sight, but they've both just peeled back, looking to let this timer tick quick. Bomb beyond the halfway point. Alexi taking a look at it, but he gets no thread to pull on. And now just a MAC-10 to potentially chase him down. That's a rifle upgrade to survive. 5 rounds on this T side already.
Gravity said they're not sure exactly, what Navi will do. They played against them a lot of practice, but they haven't specifically played, prepared for them. But look at this move, right? I mean, his body finds out Arch is open after getting his refrag kill in middle. And then they take this, what looks like a risk, but I think from 3D Max's perspective, it's like a guaranteed frag. Like, they're out there holding, waiting for any bit to come out of the big pit. And when they push into that arch smoke and start spraying, it's very clear they know what Navi's next move is going to be in all these situations. Those are the kind of kills you expect Navi to get.
Flash is great, but the cover from Ema is critical.
Oh, he can't run now. Oh, but the nade, misses.
As does that one. Well, I guess they're smoked off now. Not sure where JL would have positioned himself, but he survives the potentially double lethal frag grenade.
Now, the interesting part about Banana is if you get top car control, you don't need 5 guys to do full exec. If you have the utility in 4, it's going to feel exactly the same. So the CTs, as much as they've fought here, they've retaken car. Alexis playing a retake. They're coming through it.
It's a good flash. Gets the MP9 off it, looking for the site. That's all they want. They smoke off coffins themselves. They Molotov the back corner. Again, we get this disruptive utility out of Navi.
They're pausing.
And Alexi looks like maybe he's going through. There's that flash to get him out. He tries to take a path over towards Banana. Interesting move here from Alexi. Skates in between these Ts. It's still not even a post plan, but he's going to help out the mid player. Clear Banana first. They hit this pause button, and now there's not even a plan. We hit 25 seconds. The T smoke towards Coffin's gone. Wonderful finds the kill through smoke. And Alexi, such a nuisance here. But the player in pit in Maka, looking to bring it back, is found out, and now 3D Max left scratching their heads. How do we let them stay this on top of us without even getting a plant? Alexi holds it all down on his own with a critical triple.
Such a crafty round out of Alexi, supported with a flash to sneak through the smoke. It looked like to try to dive into pool and deny a plant from going down. And it felt like 3D Max were waiting for that moment. But Alexi, with the flash, walked through the CT smoke. And I don't know if one of those was a CT one, because it extended, it felt like, to Banana. Pulled that flank off, closed in on the site, and look at this clip. All within MP9.
Nice, boys. Nice, Alexi. 6 fucking rounds.
It's an assassin-like move from Alexi. Ooh, lucky in between the fire, though. They are not going to stop testing this B site. E-Man's going to get flashed in, but he's blind. They don't see him. He recovers a chance at this. They're still swinging into him, so a good amount of damage, considering JL went down with nothing. You've got Maka low. You've got Bit in with the headshot onto body, but 3D Max remaining adamant about trying to take this test to B, it seems. It finally fizzles out here. They've paid the piper. 16 points of health for Maka. Still a minute, though, to try to pull this off elsewhere.
Real stubborn about that attack. I mean, there were still 2 people in the back of the site. There were enough clues there. By that point, Navi had extra players in, but 3D Max refused to believe it. Wonderful's leaving the site open, but okay, he gets that op shot. No smoke on Arch. Extra cease now, just looking for a plant. Oh, and he won't get that either.
Well timed.
That would have been hard to stop.
Wonderful locks in those last 2 kills, and there is no solutions to be found here by 3D Max. That's a dangerous moment from Ema when he's full blind getting into the corner, but he's lucky that the opposition was kind of just as frazzled by it.
Got away with a kill and some extra damage too. Or actually 2 kills and some extra damage. So not the prettiest round from 3D Max, but still very scary, especially getting the opener running through that Banana pressure. But in terms of who had the better setup, well, Navi, they had so many players here ready to fight.
It's not even blind players in hindsight for 3D Max. It's one with his literal back turned, and I think that kind of served as a lineup.
They were blinded, I think, for the same amount of time, essentially. They just didn't see him when he actually crossed. Alright, key moment here for Navi. Like a very good round in their rearview mirror.
A goes a bit too far. JL flustered again, has not been having an easy time of locking down B. He's got utility coming down from the top of it to help him. Great positioning from JL. It's going to catch him by surprise. Oh, he climbs up for a second.
Oh, okay.
Nicely done by JL, well supported by the Navi camp. And now it is just finicky utility for 3D Max. Monk is going back at this. Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah, that's... He was possessed right there.
So it's a JL triple. Sub 20 HP for that last kill.
Felt like he tried to do that just in case they were leaving, just to show them as they were leaving they need to come back, but it was the wrong gamble. But they're very low numbers. I think the main risk with that one play is like, well, if he dies there and they could have saved 3 guns or something, it would help, but they've got some money left over. So got a big round from Alexi this half, big round from JL here on Banana. That's where half the plays have gone. Graviti.
Yeah, no, but I was like the way Justik was sneaking, I was thinking maybe.
See if we get the 3rd kill from JL's POV as well. It's 11 health and oh, he's full white.
Wow, the flashes work so well. His 3rd burst.
Wow, the power of a corner in Counter-Strike. They gotta come to you. The buys keep on coming because the economy's been so strong for 3D Max. Graviti had that $10,000 once upon a time. Flurry of util on Banana. And Graviti goes through.
Ooh.
He's not alone either, but you can't not clear this.
Uh-oh.
2 backs turn makes it way too easy for Emet.
No arch smoke, so they didn't think anyone would start there. It's a perfect play, perfect setup here for Navi.
And these corner campers starting to turn into the bane of 3D Max. Between JL last round and Emet this time. The body will get the entry. It's a 3v5 attempt.
Yeah, he's got to be careful because this will be a 3v3 and then it's not guaranteed.
Ooh, he peeks deep. Signs up for that fight against Maka. Maybe a bit too ambitious there, Alexi. Missed the timing, let them cross. And then the swing. Maka bolstering confidence in through the back of Church with a deep Molotov on top of it. Wonderful, just hoping somebody steps into the challenge. But this has got save written all over it.
Yeah, how are they going to get back into this one? Turn to turkey. It's a would be a chicken.
It's still, I was thinking it. Yeah, it's just it's still a chicken.
If you could turn water to wine, you could turn chicken to turkey.
Terrorists win. Wonderful. Hey. Okay, he fights for it.
Nice.
Holds on to it. But it is a fast move from 3D Max.
3v5, man.
Uh-huh.
Just like they've won around 4 players going into the B site, now 3 players going into the B site. This has been just the key to victory here for 3D Max. I think it was just a touch too early for Alexi to come in and fight. It was officially a retake, I think, when he, came back to fight in Con. It would have made it easier if he got the kill, but also, like, your odds just go way down of pulling that off unless you're MIBR.
It's not the most embarrassing 5v3 on that B site we've seen in Austin, but still one that's going to leave a sting for Navi, no doubt. Looking for a tied half. Best case, Maka insta headshot on JL, who has been bullied this half. He has that one multi-kill round with the triple. Something to be proud of at the very least, but he has had to fight tooth and nail to get any space or even any respect throughout this first half.
Yeah, there's been no respect. Like that, they aren't worried about how much damage they're going to take on their way there. Oh, they missed the jump. Oof, that's their whole setup out the window.
You know, in the pregame, Gravity says, like, we don't think Navi are a top 5 team, and I think like they're playing against them like they're not a top 5 team either. Thinking that they've got it covered in the frag department and proving that they do. Good trade from Lucky. Some of these AK headshots, provably strong entries for 3D Max, and patience here from Exorcist means Bit goes down with nothing. Wonderful's going to be left in his spawn, and a 7-5 T-side queued up for 3D Max.
You can tell they've been watching the demos. They knew what was going to be difficult, and to be fair to Navi, they had some good answers back, but they're not looking like the favorites so far.
Considering the rise in Counter-Strike that 3D Max have put forth in 2025, becoming a mainstay, it's odd to me we've never had this actual head-to-head. So they get a chance to take a chunk out of Tactical Titans. And Wonderful. Hail Mary here is literally losable round, playing for the stats, just
nice,
doing something.
Love to watch this.
It's not inspiring, I'll tell you that. Navi let this one fizzle out at the end, and so 2 rounds sprinkled in from 3D Max, who actually played a win.
Welcome to the Blast TV Austin Major, where we've got some stickers, and we're gonna rank the stickers. We got the Blast logo. This is the Blast Austin 25.
I'll say B.
B?
Put it in B.
B
You can get
tier?
a B to start.
We're going Lin Vision. Maybe the biggest surprise of the tournament so far?
A tier.
A tier?
On Lin Vision.
A tier. I feel like the animal teams are really gonna have a leg up.
Oh, I just saw who's in your hand,
Yeah.
Mike.
So we have MIBR here.
I'm ranking how much I like it on a belt
Ranking the
buckle.
sticker.
And like, you just wouldn't want this on a belt buckle, would you?
No.
I think, regretfully, MIBR, you've made your way into the E tier.
Results, A tier. Tier list, sticker, E. We got paint. I always try and rock a big P with my belt.
No, you can't do this, man. For me, it's D tier.
We're going over for the B for bait. With the
Oh,
hook.
that's fine. It's probably C tier.
C tier. Phase.
That's the best of the letter one.
I would wager there is somebody with a Phase belt buckle in Austin,
Yes.
Texas. Phase up the tier list. Something just fell off. Shit. We got Team Liquid here. What do you think?
Well, I could see Keith. You know Keith, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we know him
Keith.
like that. We can call him. You can't call him Keith.
My boy Keith.
If I saw Keith wearing this, I'd be like, dude, you're the coolest guy in the world. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go S tier.
Let's
That's for you,
go.
Keith.
That's for Keith.
you, bruh.
We got V for Vitality.
Oh, bro, it's fire. It might be another S tier for me.
When you know, you know.
Exactly.
When you
like,
see it,
it just
you
has
see it.
aura. The team has aura. No, bro, it deserves to be an S.
We got VP. B?
Yeah.
Namiga? And kind of got the Sheriff Star.
Yeah, kind of horrible there. Give me a C.
Slightly bent G2 Samurai. I feel like he could be bigger.
But maybe that's a sign of where G2 are at.
Oh no.
C. Dude, I look like I hate Brazil.
That's fucked up. We got the Furia Panther coming through.
Oh shit. Okay.
Iconic. Be kinda sick.
I'm thinking A.
You got a Panther on your belt 60% of the time. It works all the time.
Yeah.
The 3D Max, whatever this is. The Demon, the horns.
B.
Legacy 3-0 and 10.
Actually looks kind of fire on the belt. Let's say B.
Aurora.
Maybe if my name was Ari. How the British say.
Every. See?
Yeah. Why is the Navi so tiny? Dude, no, everything about this one is causing me like stress. And so I think they deserve to go in F tier.
F tier.
Now we don't actually have that.
We don't have an F tier, but we're
So
just gonna put them at the
put it
bottom.
underneath E.
Sorry, Navi. Not the sticker for you. We got the Mongols.
I'm like, I don't want to wear this. Put it in like D.
Size matters.
I'm a size king.
Size King Harry. I think a good size of this one,
Okay.
which is ironic because it's for a mouse.
It looks sick. Strong A tier.
Strong A tier?
Strong A tier.
Spirit. Our last pick here.
I think it's A tier, man. This is perfect. This is the quintessential list. You can't disagree with it. If you do, you're wrong.
And so 3D Max with a established 7-5 lead will swap over to the defense and have the hope of 3-0 still to hang on to. They've got Navi in front of them, who proved that they've fleshed out the map pool. Again, that Nemigo win at the start of the day had Navi fans rejoicing, but 3D Max take a chunk out of them. And 3D Max remained very adamant through that half on just hitting that B site. It was their start of the round, it was their end of the round. And they just hang it over the heads of Navi long enough. We'll see if JL's finally freed up to have a bit of fun in this series, because that poor guy got hit by grenades every single round.
It's life of the B player normally, but it got it extra bad this time. So let's see about that defense, huh? Window flash gets canceled here as the smoke comes down in front of the half wall. Pretty even-handed map right now. 3D Max spotting with body on arch. Ready for a Halls play as well. Kind of ready for everything a little bit, not overly stacked, however. And because of that lack of information, body will walk back up Speedway. This is something of a read, but they're reading the wrong book.
Still no move either from that CT spawn, so now they hear the steps up in the apartments. XRC's gonna have to be sharp. Short starting to fall. He's just waiting for his chance on apartments. He'll get his one. And Gravity actually gets one as well in that reposition with fire beneath him, forced against the wall of pit. Comes out with a kill. Little delay to the bomb plant here as it's got to get scooped back up, and that's going to buy good amounts of time for Maka to flank middle.
And Maka's running this, cancels noise right when JL, I think, could hear him.
Should have.
But JL
tries to catch him off, but he did hear that approach, so he's ready to turn back to Maka, makes up for the missed shots over towards Lucky, who now gets the pit play confirmed. That's 2 T's, positions well known, and JL decides not to be a thorn in their side, but rather peel away. We get another save in the pistol. They don't see it happening.
Lame.
And so Navi are going to kick it off with success.
All those rounds that were lost, you know, weren't 3v5 attempts on the retakes. They didn't try them because they didn't have to, because there were more rounds coming up. But it's as if we haven't learned the lesson. Always go for the retake. I mean, if you don't attempt the retake, of course you're going to lose.
You have logic.
Goes without saying.
That's sound. Good recovery from JL as well. He was on the receiving end of 4 opening deaths when it came to that first half. Of the 6 that 3D Max won. But he is off to the races, already threw the smoke grenade on Banana, disrespecting that utility from 3D Max. It's not enough to scare JL and the rest of the Navi camp because they are majority right behind him. And Maka's hope is fleeting with that singular 5-7, but at least a smoke to just play with timings. And Navi happy to do that. Still a minute 15 to work.
I wonder if they're going to come back to A. It's still such a heavy, committed stack right now from the CT side. They're going to walk into this fall miss. They clear it properly, though. Okay, nice bit.
Bit from behind.
The CTs are leaving completely.
Yeah, such a tempting angle for a CT player to hold on to for mid, but you are just so full exposed to the back of door of apartments. Valve really did nerf you if you want to play out there. Quick reminder that you have a potential $1,000 of bonus cash.
$1,000 of bonus cash.
Yes, sir, when using Underdog, if using code BLAST upon first sign up.
Does I use code BLAST for Underdog upon sign up?
That's right, upon first sign up on Underdog using code BLAST. How much?
$1,000?
Up to. But unlike Wonderful, you've got to play the game.
Texas dollars?
Full-fledged American dollars.
Now we're going to see a retake on the B site.
They want your guns.
Not in America. You can't have them.
Can't take them. Smoke grenade won't let you try. No pushing through that one. Good decision.
Guys, they will have another Enigma kind of. We can finish it.
Alexi's right. He's read the situation well. With 4 players surviving, they will have another type of half-life.
Yes. Yeah.
He is in the server with a good read of the situation.
Information's half the game. So, let's see what the call is.
That bomb is that MP9. How does it get going?
Excellent. Grenade here on JL. More HE damage on him. We need a stat just to count how much damage JL has eaten from these HEs.
He had the most amount of grenade damage in the first half of play.
Nice.
Nearly 400 of his 1,000 damage. But that still doesn't answer your question about how much he received.
Still a very interesting stat.
I would say even more if I had to guess. Poor guy. Here we go. Smokes exchanged inside B site. Fire on Gravity's feet. And that's the player that was already wounded trying to fight for Banana, but there are still strong pieces of a defense in position. And that 5-7
Looks
damage?
like if the guy's so far away, they might be thinking about still going here. The bomb starts to walk back. Are they just going to re-enter the site? The CTs are going to have to look around. They have changed up their stack, and it'll be a second attempt at this execute. 3 people here. Gravity's taking all his damage from mollies, excuse me.
You know the support was back in CT spawn. No surprise to see Gravity go down with nothing. Low health from the get-go. And they'll unravel it. Alexi making money in the process, reads it well. And then we get the Maka push with the 5-7. He's the guy that got the damage early over on CT Cross.
That's really great. I mean, I think that's one thing, Navi are best at is they can do the calculations when they don't have the out-of-spawn play with all their grenades. They know what to do, how to hold back, re-exec with an imperfect attack, and keep that communication solid, when they're playing well. They don't freak out.
Yeah, there's the asterisk. When they're playing well. Which seems to be the case here in Austin. 2 successful opening best of ones in stage 3 for these teams, looking for that coveted 2-0 start. And Exorcist looking for some economic damage. Bomb is gonna take Ema out of this one.
That
so
actually worked by him.
only 2 survive in the end.
Nice, boys, come on.
Nice, come on.
But they get through what was a constant save situation from 3D Max. They definitely got some bang out of the buck for those 5-7s.
I think Exorcist only had 3 kills in the first half, but it honestly looked like they were all demo kills, which makes it more impressive. It's the way that he was finding his frags on T side. Time for both teams to talk. This can be the lead with a tempo here for Navi. But because of those saved guns, that helps the economy for 3D Max for sure. And the buy comes in. It looks pretty decent. Maka's very on and off. I think we see great rounds from him. Offing, sometimes not.
That ends up being nice. 2 instant CT smokes goes down on the bottom of Banana. You see the T's try to open it to get vision as the defense is pushing. But because they went for 2 smokes, it was too wide to actually get vision. It's afforded 3D Max that positioning, but Bit is not too concerned about what's going down over on B. Oh, they don't clear it!
It's because they mollied it and no one smoked it.
Body just stuck in that perfect corner, gets away with the robbery.
So what's interesting is Body is the one who spams the guy who's throwing a molly at him. He jumps back, comes back, throws the molly, doesn't land in the perfect spot. Body kicks his smoke out, doesn't need to smoke it, and that's it. So even though Bit's kill was good, Maka makes a big mistake there. He doesn't respect the flash off the wall, just comes in for the repeak. It's all made up for by Body.
Looking to get this game tied up.
Yeah, I mean, Navi still can't give up here, though.
Off angle from Lucky. Position now known, but he wins the duel to Ema and doubles down on Wonderful, who misses the off shot. Gravity right there to trade out. Minimized our Navi in brackets. No entry allowed. The smallest mistakes can cost you.
Yeah, just hold that smoke. I mean, it's not even about wasting the smoke. As you can see, it's just about giving them an audio cue. And Body, he has just the smallest corner to stay comfortable in.
You give him an inch, he'll take a round win. And majority alive as well for 3D Max is excellent. Devil's in the details.
They would have got that op back as well, right? It was up on the halls. They were still on A, weren't they?
Yeah, they held back Arch side. Well, either way, Wonderful's op died on Arch, so you pick that one up instead.
True.
Because that corpse won't be needing it. Yeah, and look at this, double op setup with it, so not only do we get those saves from 3D Max, then majority alive in their first gun round, right into the double op setup for Maka to hold total mid control, sees nothing, and lets the op ring out. Now there is no second op over at B. Maka's looking to come bolster this site though. Body's gonna sign up for a gunfight. Oh, utility over the top, fires burning JL, and he barely survives it on 4 health. But 4 health all he needs to get that first blood, and he's still testing the waters. Easy cleanup for Lucky.
They're trying
Maka's
to go
moved
for
that
it.
sniper in.
They're eating so much damage for this. They're not making a move on the other side of the map either. Looking a lot like 3D Max, really trying to barrel their way through everything. And, you know, this is a moment where Bit could definitely get opt if they're not expecting the full rotation to halls. All because of the second op in play. It's big info they have on the A site. Only be 2 here over on B, so won't be the easiest move for 3D Max if it ends up being a B site hit. Feels like Navi are a little bit unsure, but they're ready to exec in the late moments of this round.
See those grenades coming over top, and it's a fast reposition. Whoa, Maka throwing nades, so the op is not ready, but it's covered.
Wow, it's a great setup. We've seen them use this before. I love it.
Missed shot reopens the door in a 2v4, but he is so elusive. Still just sitting on this fountain. Bit's recovery, though.
Oh, he got the bomb.
Oh,
Wait,
it's on.
Wait, go find the bomb, Bit.
4 seconds, he goes for the off reload, can't find the bomb in the middle of the chaos. Would have been fully exposed to the banana flank regardless.
Yep.
The fact he's able to clear it's one thing, but it just comes in way too late. The fact that the 3 players in front of Bit all go down with nothing.
Yeah, rotations were fast there. I love that setup. And again, in a game that's just getting harder and harder to defend from the site, you play a layered defense like this, you're not shooting through that fountain pillar. And even though you can't leave from there, if you got a teammate behind you like we just saw, you can see how hard it is for the T's to get in. That's well done. Maka did nothing but make noise, and that was enough.
This is 3D Max with a lead versus Pistols on the road to a 2-0 start in stage 3.
I love that they don't worry about the second op coming in again as well. It's a nice gimmick round that they got, but versus an anti-eco, it slows you down on retakes.
Instead, we have an AUG. XRC somewhere in the middle.
Feels like Navi are pretty much forfeiting this 10th round. They don't have a flash to work with.
Tiptoe into the op of Maka. Just while we can, I want to sing praise again just for the way he played that fountain, because that is one of the skinnier pillars in our map pool.
Think skinny for that.
You know, and he did it to damn near perfection.
Yeah, he was
It took
Ozempic.
Bit, wide swinging
right there.
around the back of it, full spray, 25 bullets into that AK-47, gave up all accuracy.
You went vegan for that swing.
Just tries to chase him. And that's exactly what you got to do. Time spelled disaster in the end for Navi last round. But now, again, you said no flashes. You could just pistol push your way through it if there wasn't fire at your feet. And at the slightest threat of their presence, all the utility gets dropped. And it's a meat grinder, as you'd expect.
No deaths.
Nothing for the side of Navi in terms of getting that opening going. Double digits for 3D Max, 3 rounds out from a win here on Inferno.
Yeah, it's time to talk here for Navi. I think they kept 2 timeouts. They were just talking over the 3D Max timeouts as well. But now it's starting to get a little bit more scary. Oh, Navi have burned through theirs. 3D Max 1 remaining. They can't fight up Banana like 3D Max did to them. That's what it feels like. A-Site feels pretty secure. They're having a little bit of trouble with the ops. They're having a little trouble with the opening kills. I wouldn't say there's any problem that's too great, but there is sort of a confluence of minor issues that they can't do better than 3D Max did to them on the T side in the first half. So I don't think all that's to say no strat is ruled out here. They could still try to fight B very aggressively if they want to and risk it. They haven't done a proper full wrap A split yet.
That nade continues to just thrive in the chaos. He's got plenty of teammates around him, so absolutely bolstered confidence, but Lucky burned out.
So blind.
The thing is, there's 2 players in front of that. They go for the boost, and the T's never see it coming. Maka keeps that up, trained on Navi. It is a fight on Banana that Navi didn't know they were signing up for.
That boost was actually beautiful. I mean, they transitioned to it. Does his pick kill come down? No, Exorcist covers himself. That was their one chance to get a site open. My goodness, 3D Max. The op shot for the damage, the nade to follow up, transition to the boost. There's too many things to read in a row for Navi. And they really show us how it's done here for holding Banana.
That whole round just screamed playing to win if you are 3D Max. Especially when that second guy gets burned out in front of you. Lucky down to 20 HP, opts to give the boost over. Feels like you're making the best of a bad situation by just keeping the pressure on Navi. A fleeing Navi in that moment. Lexi B will find himself with 25 seconds left on this clock. No utility, no teammates, just the bomb. And a long gone hope of competing on this T side. Opportunity is drying up. If he gets deep in the plant zone, then maybe he would have got away with it. Pit player, though, lets the library take contact.
They're hyped. I mean, it's back to basically
and he just said, that's your strat.
That's your strat.
That's your strat.
Oh. Yeah, you know what's... Isn't it wild how much it feels like they're just doing what Navi did, but better?
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Let's go!
Ooh.
Taste of their own medicine. 3-round lead now for 3D Max. And we are out of spawn with barely any tools to work with here for Navi. So a fight to keep 3D Max off 12. Keeping a few eggs in next round's basket. Though, again, fast challenge this time. Navi try to get past that mid-smoke, and Exorcist signs up for a fight in the middle of it, but what you've done is given that AUG over to Navi, and now it is numbers strong on short side, but Exorcist, your pit player's dead. So Gravity comes out, catches him off. Lucky, it's a one and done. Even with better weapons, 3D Max are only coming away from these situations with 1 kill each, and
Maka has no gun?
Didn't come into the round with 1.
Oh.
Plenty of rifles to pick up. No, excuse me, opt to be grabbed. Now Wonderful stuck on site. This is offered over by Exorcist by that first kill in the brackets. And Wonderful trying to get the targets selected one at a time. Opts to keep himself now down into the cover, looking for the headshot, but it's a betrayal with an AUG. If you don't know how to use it, then you can't. That is 3D Max 12.
Yeah, turns out he had the gun he wanted to the whole time. The USP does the job here, denies the 1v2 attempt. And they forget about Gravity because it's normally Exorcist in the big pit, holding the angle. He's the one who pushed out mid early. Good trades, but this is just Hail Mary, right? This is just a fast rush on low guns to see what happens.
Nice!
but they can't get through what feels like a flawless CT. The X Factor moments, Alexi, JL, feels like 15 rounds ago at this point.
JL just remaining adamant, but 3D Max sign up to these fights on their terms and thrive in Banana again. The flashbangs have Alexi turned to the wall. There's no follow-up. 3D Max not looking to throw away this golden opportunity to close on Inferno.
Oh, 3 people inside the B side, and a nade comes down. Body.
90 damage on that bad boy. Bit's gonna just come walking out from Boiler with a chance to reopen this round. 1 health left on Ime.
They're gonna go search him. Ima is talking to Bit to make something happen. 1 kill comes down. I think searching is still the correct option, but now they know that the site is open. Body's moving back to B, but I mean, Navi have got all the info. They're holding for the push. It's sure, like, surely this bomb gets planted A. They know exactly what's happening right now. But they're so worried that 3D Max are playing with an extra, I guess extra C's was the pit player, so that's fair enough. Wow, what a save.
So 1 HP recovery from Ime. He dies with that bomb. Bit, I don't see a world where he recovers.
I mean, this is still a position where you could think about a retake, even though they got to do the full run, but it's 2v2.
Can't help but feel like they just save it, even though they've got so much money. This is where you've got to give that respect where it's due. So they'll let Navi get that 9th. But you can feel the water boiling here for 3D Max with the way they took that Banana fight. How many times?
I mean, it was great. It was a great
yes, sir.
Start to the round. You wouldn't want to do it anywhere. It's not like Body got a random 2K. 2 people were blind pushing top Banana, and he got that spray down. It was just excellent as a team.
Terrorists win.
So the flawlessness of this CT side comes to an end. The streak that 3D Max had going since Navi started with the 3-0 off pistol. And considering 3D Max is really only a team that we've started talking about in the last 12 months, it is insane to me how elusive playoffs have been for them throughout this season. They have played at so many of the big events. They have come so close. And the likes of Cluj-Napoca, I mean, they had a playoff, a progression game versus Saw at that event that they should have won every time. Like, that was their layup of the season to finally get a chance at stage experience.
Their fundamentals just weren't solid enough.
No, but those fundamentals have improved on American soil. Exorcise, again, this double op setup coming out of 3D Max, trying to close out the half with it, trying to close the map with it. But Alexi B's got other ideas, and Body no double this time.
Now they know about the 2-op setup, 100%. And they're taking this towards Arch. There's 2 CTs here waiting.
Ooh, they are playing right into the hand of the defense. A4 on the corner. Gravity thinking about going for the swing, but Navi are going to take the space on short side. It's not entirely free. They had to get through Lucky, who drops with nothing. And it looks like with this plant and 3 players on site, Navi have done it. Secure double digits and keep 3D Max thinking.
It's always a kill like the one Ima got with Navi. 1 HP, super unlikely. Navi did it throughout the Copenhagen Major. They're very good at playing off of moments like that. And wow, this is a crazy angle. I loved it though. And taking a moment like that and they just start praying after that. They're like, all right, everything's on our side. We're gonna make this comeback happen now.
Terrorists win.
I love how Navi are still making it hard on themselves, dying 2 rounds in a row to the bomb.
Yeah, won't matter as much to them this kill, but double digits.
It's that damn blast radius, I tell you. I want to list off the events that 3D Max have failed to make playoffs at this year. Blast Bounty, Season 1, IEM Katowice, PGL Cluj-Napoca, ESL Pro League, Season 21, PGL Bucharest, IEM Melbourne, IEM Dallas. Those are great opportunities. There is a wealth of experience to be gained this season for a team that, like I said, just a year ago, we didn't talk about. A fully French roster, top 16 at a major, to give themselves the best possible chance at finally lifting that curse to make top 8. You would have 3 best of 3s if you just close out this game that you undeniably had control of. But you've got to put down a team that knows how to play against every odd. That is Navi. Again, they try to test Banana. Body just looking for that double that he was able to tap into not long ago.
Lex is going to turn off a flash. The smoke is still fresh, however. Oh, an extra molly. That's massive. They hear this.
And they remain adamant with the 3 players defending Banana here for the defense. It's a similar setup. They boost for specifically this corner.
Last time they did this, said, that's your strat. Oh, but Maka
lets his guard down.
That's a blind spot.
Had the angle held, Body's gonna pick up the off. You know you've got JL still locked in. Excellent wall bangs through the barrel. JL just dancing with death as that off bullet whizzes right by him. In the same breath, Imez taking damage on the approach to the A site. Exorcis's grenade's gonna kill him. Alexi's got a perfect wrap here to the back of this A defense. They are exposed, but he's not going through it. He's letting Bit do the heavy lifting. Great tag from Wonderful to reopen this round, and Navi are gonna push us to round 24.
Yeah, they're looking like they're gonna make it an OT affair now. They're winning back on Banana. That was very clean. Obviously, Maka, if he had held logs that entire time, he would have been offered up a kill, but there was great patience from JL to make sure that he didn't peek too early. So that's how they died last time. Maka has some savings. Lucky and Body have really important weapons this round. Navi are not hunting them down because every round's still been expensive. But if they didn't have these saves, they'd have nothing to defend here against overtime. Good to see Navi playing better, but it's that 1 HP Imma kill.
Yep.
Where this all really began.
And this vindication from JL after getting bullied on Banana in the first half. Not only sliding out at the perfect moment to kill Maka, but then that half damage wallbang on barrels. Takes the energy out of 3D Max, who have looked rambunctious on that Banana hold. You know, Body really wants to tap back into the multi-kill potential that he's already proven to have. But finally, we get Majority starting over towards A instead. I mean, Gravity just floating around middle with an MP9's kind of asking for trouble. Nades dealing early damage to Maka, Body, and Lucky. And it's already little utility for the defense, but they still have to utilize it early to try to hang on to Banana. They are fighting tooth and nail for this again. Opening the possibility of losing a player through smoke. Lucky walks away on 44 health.
They're right. They played so much better with all the economy in their favor, all the nades they've used to take down Banana. But without them, I really like that they're still spamming and making presence and fighting because they can't let this be a 5v2B exec. Double porch setup could be risky. Maka's still looking for his good round.
It's a brand new setup for 3D Max in the CT side. We have not had anybody boosted. If Navi let their guards down, or if Gravity finds that perfect timing, he slips into middle, kills Alexi, and there's a CT Molotov to keep Emet out of the trade.
Oh, Bit, does he activate the lurk?
This is the move, right?
They know that he's always up here. He came out last round. They're walking in underneath them.
Oh, Maka's peeling back. CT's trying to get Sanctuary on this bomb site, and it looks
so
like
aware.
They have done it. Looks like they've given themselves just enough cover. Maka, he's going to be looking towards short. First shot's a miss, and now he's looking for some way to bail his teammate out of pit, because Exorcise burned into the far corner. Maka's gonna lay it down while he can, and it still gets reopened. It's a 2 versus 5. Cover for the planter. JL gets bested by Lucky, and Wonderful already dropped the ball in a similar 1v2. But he's got that AK on the smoke, and they are inbound from the same positions. He pops up to see nothing for now. There it goes, the last piece of util, the final flash, and Wonderful with overtime on the line, beckons him in, back to the gun, he blows this! Woo! Headshots from the Opper, Navi live on!
Oh, and that's redemption for Wonderful. JL takes a breath here. They actually made it happen off the 1 HP Ima kill at top banana. That is Navi style if there is one. They rush this retake a little bit. JL coming out in front of it. And Wonderful with two very clean kills.
Come on!
So 3D Max failed to punch the golden ticket. And they try to sign up to the fight versus Ime, who, remember, because of 1 point of health, was able to bring this back. JL's not going to waste time getting entries over towards B. Ime's going to slip quickly out from the apartment, but don't start cutting corners, Navi. Maka's in the smoke, no support. Looking to peel somebody off, and he will, but then they're able to zone in on him because there's zero help offered up by his teammates. Lucky is still locking horns with JL, who's just tucked away in this corner. And 3D Max want to try to get the retake, but they're on the wrong side of the map for those antics. Navi have the lead.
They come into OT as a whole new team, so much more aggression, and I thought 3D Max, with all the utility that they were so good with early on, were going to benefit, but the momentum now is very real.
Feels like 3D Max have fallen out of love with those hyper-aggressive...
Oh, he got him. Oh, right at the end.
Those hyper-aggressive B starts have kind of fallen out of favor. JL stepped up to the challenge, so we see the aggressiveness instead come out towards A. It looked to me like Ima is ready to meet them.
Yeah, he did not have a good first map today, but it's just the first map.
Despite any sort of individual shakiness to the start of this major, at least Navi won their opening map.
Last bullet of the round, he gets the 5th and final kill for 3D Max, and the money will matter if 3D Max lose this one too.
$10,000 for overtime at the major. Not the norm. But neither are best of ones. Yeesh. Nade damage is immense here on Banana. Still lucky to be standing both of these CTs. And all they're willing to risk is that one op shot. That's how you know they're starting to feel like a shell of themselves.
Yeah, man. He's on 22. They can't attack with anything else. Body will even leave the site. Again, they're putting in their best effort to fight as much as they can or pretend to on Banana. You know, Navi they're shrewd. They don't make decisions too quickly, so it can be scary to make the big rotation, but they're doing it with a push. Maka's already here on lane.
perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Oh my, a
There's
little bit of
support
luck.
here as well.
You catch Bit turning the wrong way. Maka
Maka's
missed chance. That would have been the 5v3. Instead, Alexi pouncing on gravity.
Every shoulder peek he's missing.
Maka cannot afford to miss another one, and he won't. Hits it right between the eyes on Alexi. Gets baited out into the next shot, but he also baited for Exorcise, who inside of that sight corner can't hang on. It's a fully health Lucky on the other side of the map, but Body just throws caution to the wind.
Ugh.
Tries to change out guns while the two T's are standing right there. And that is an unfortunate failure for Body, because now Lucky's got to come through versus
he's
two,
just
but
out in the
wonderful.
open.
Just standing along that back wall. And Emet in the deepest of corners on this site. Lucky's thinking maybe he's on the mid box. Oh, but he catches him. Emet decides to end it on his own terms. Navi take it. 2 opening round wins in overtime, and now we know economic ramifications.
It's a lot of blood on the hands of Maka this game, unfortunately. The amount of shots that he's taken versus shoulder peaks where he should have just waited or he just needed to hit. It's just too many.
Nice! Come on! Sick, good trades, guys.
And here it is, the French recession. 2 MP9s.
But what if it just unlocks the possibility of this? Body, little to lose with just that SMG, goes stomping on JL's head. Frag with his name on it, but Body elusive. And Alexi B is opening up the timing in the process. He's got teammates up in the apartments.
Yeah, they know this is a heavy B lean. Exorcise looking for a place to cover. Oh my god, he actually might cut off the bomb.
Oh, this could be
It
perfection.
just depends on the timing. He doesn't know.
He turns back. Alexi inside of that smoke. 3 T's ready to go out from balcony. He is at the very least gonna find Alexi. That's a set of eyes over towards the balc drop, but the smoke grenade is gonna give them an exit. Still 5 players up for
Oh, that's
3D
so
Max.
smart for Exorcise.
He's going off the top rope, looks to drop the elbow. 2 players straight down beneath him, and 4 teammates just in case he drops this. And he will take his sweet time. Big gets a kill, he swoops in, and it's only the single, so there's still a chance to re-emerge from this. Never write Navi off. There's another
Halls
flank
player.
back from balcony. And so Bit now with both still to topple, and a well-timed short peek could end it, but Bit seems aware. He peeks in, and with 30 seconds has to somehow scoop that bomb back. The CT swings.
Wow.
3D Max with affirmative action take this round win by storm.
It takes a 1v1 in the end to be able to pull that off. Deny another 1v2. A very close call, I think, in terms of rounds. All they care about is actually winning because it's been so long at this point. Now, as we swap sides, we go back to the first half, and 3D Max looked like the better team. But we are so far into this game now. We've seen so much come out of both teams. Navi are wildly different at this point than they were even 5 rounds ago. I know Blade's excited to be here. A second chance to prove that their CT side can be better.
Not comfortable at all. Wonderful, already down to half. JL knows this feeling all too well. That guy was just pelted by nades in the first half. But it's wonderful to have to still hold his nerve, and he will.
What a flick.
Nice snap over to Lucky. He was getting ready for the player further in front in Maka.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, you want to see a flick?
And it's very clear who's been in the better opera today.
Adjusts to the body jump up. Alexi loses vision. Exorcise skates by. Can he compromise this?
I mean, this
A
works better
setup?
for Alexi, right? Unless he comes back and checks this.
And like Ima's playing aware of it. And Alexi also very much with it on his mind. Perfect repossession from Alexi. Exorcist just stalls for a second, and that offers the opening right back over to the defense. And now you are going to get crushed. All three A defenders ready to go for it. Navi instantly in with the round win.
Yeah, it's been an amazing fight here for Navi to pull it back this close, to actually one round away from winning when it felt like it was done. But that's a story we've told so many times with Navi. They just get better by the round. And a great second shot for Wonderful. There have not been too many op highlights this game from either team. So that's a welcome sight.
Nice, boys, nice.
Nice to see Wonderful with the double kill. Clean shots, no missed chance on that one. 2 clicks of the mouse, 2 easy frags on the approach to B. .3D Max thought they had this in the bag. Navi can't make that same mistake. Little jump up on the half wall. Alexi sees how close they are, but they're still sticking around despite the fire to the left. They're gonna make 3D Max work for top banana if they really are that adamant about taking it.
Down to their last bits here, 3D Max. And they don't catch him up falling back. That's a clean cutoff.
Oh, you know 3D Max, right? Odds are they still take this chance. Odds are they think they can still overwhelm. I mean, Maka's going in with a Tech 9 entry instead of playing the op, and it works. But from the boost is JL with further damage. He's losing his sight. Oh, classic 3D Max action. You have an op on your back and you swing to the Tech 9 just so that you can play with aggression.
Yeah, that's the best move that he could make in that spot. And again, the op hasn't been doing him too much favors. They've got all the utility needed to retake. They don't really have the manpower here. And they're actually worried about their own money coming into the third round of this half, and so they won't even try it. They'll get some extra damage in the end, but now they've got to turn and run themselves.
Terrorists win.
1 round to bring it to another OT, and it's a solid round out of 3D Max. The only difference here is Navi has gotten better. 3D Max are kind of hovering around the same level, same good fight, same good protocol, same good utility placement. They're getting flashes in, their entries have been really strong.
I think this round win will do a lot of good for 3D Max just because of the stubbornness that it took to just decide to slam that site with 4 players on banana. They could have tried to wait out for a better opportunity once some smokes went down, but no, they pounced. And that killer instinct is definitely something that 3D Max possess. It's sticking the landing that they struggle with. Right now, JL's just gonna thrust himself into the action again! No way! Wild blind over top of the barrels.
That's the
double.
most JL double I've ever seen. His teammates will tell him about it later.
3D Max thought they were happily signing up for just a little friendly jostling in the utility. Everybody puffing their chest, but it's JL. Unquenchable bloodlust. Trying to get back some of that score he lost versus the grenades in the first half of action. Navi just need 2 kills to get that 2-0 here in Austin. And with Alexi B locking in the first kill, all the support he could ever ask for is right behind him. Gravity hoping that they overstep. He does have the bomb, and they are all right here, and the first kill goes down for 70 damage, but Navi will lock this in. A perfect day 1 in Austin. Not a lot of runway to get off the ground, but they do it. Playing Train versus Namiga prove that they have fleshed out the map pool, and now already with their second best of 1 win, it's resilience on full display.